Welcome back subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to Kilcunda. Kilcunda is a seaside town located 117 kilometres or 73 miles southeast of Melbourne between Phillip Island and Wonthaggi near Dalyston via the South Gippsland Highway on the Bass Highway in the Bass Coast Shire of Gippsland, Victoria, Australia. The name Kilcunda is believed to come from the Aboriginal term for an exclamation. The 91 metre long Kilcunda Bridge was built over the Bourne Creek. It is protected by the National Trust. This Trestle Bridge, which we will see, was constructed for the Victorian Railways to carry coal from what was then known as the Powlett Coal Fields. Mining began in 1873. Coal was transported by the tramway to San Remo and then by boat to Melbourne. The Trestle Bridge is a particularly significant monument because most of the steam locomotive fuel that serviced the Victorian Railways network from 1911 until 1978 crossed over the bridge. Since disuse, the bridge is now a tourist attraction and a part of the Bass Coast Rail Trail. Bourne Creek spills into Kilcunda Beach and out into sea of Bass Strait. Seashells collecting is permitted on the Kilcunda beaches. The annual Kilcunda Lobster Festival began in 1984 and is held on Australia Day weekend ever since. However, during the COVID pandemic, it obviously had to stop, and this was the first year of its return. The Bunurong Aboriginal people were custodians of this stretch of coast for thousands of years prior to white settlement. The Bukalawa clan lived in the Kilcunda area south of Bass River, and I hope I pronounced those correctly and apologise if I haven't. Middens, also known as shell heaps, also known as domestic waste containing charcoal, mark the location of their campsites along the coast. Now, I'd also like to share some of the 2021 census results for Kilcunda. So the population in 2021 was 578, the average age being 55. Ancestry, the top responses were in order: English, Australian, Scottish, Irish and Italian. Country of birth, the top responses in order is Australian, England, New Zealand, Germany, the United States and Scotland. Religious affiliation, the top responses are in order: no religion at 50%, Catholics at 19%, Anglicans at 10% and the rest wasn't stated. Other than English spoken at home, the top responses were in order: German, Spanish, Arabic, Dutch and Italian. And finally, the beef cattle farming industry is the #1 employer for the town. And once again, and as per usual, all the credits or references will be listed in the description below. So please enjoy the sights and sounds of Kilcunda. And just a quick note, the drone will go up. It was a great day to fly the drone. There was barely any wind, so you'll get to see what the Lobster Festival was all about as they were setting up. If you're going to come into this area next year during the Australia Day weekend, I suggest you come pretty early because parking was very challenging, to put it mildly. So this is Shelley's Beach. Now, there are some surfers out there. I'd imagine the surfing is really good, but I'd sort of suggest that the standard of surfing has to be pretty high. And as you can see, it's pretty rocky. So this is one of the smaller trestle bridges at Kilcunda. This one is one that's pretty much tells you to keep out, and it's an unstable bridge. Early morning jogger. Well, there is a walk path here. It's not well travelled, but it's still relatively clear on how to get there. Just got caught up in some thorns, but that's okay. So as you can see, there are people on the Trestle Bridge. And it's hard to imagine that extremely heavy steam and diesel locomotives were travelling on this. Now, I'm not sure if this is for anyone's interest, but it looks like these planks for the construction was put here on the November 1965, the same year I was born. I'm not sure what the 3.16 means. And here's another one with the stamped date. Maybe the workers might have done it. I don't know if you can catch that, but basically that says 11.65 as well. So here we are at the Kilcunda Cemetery, and I'll have a look to see if we can find some ex-servicemen or women. Now just bear in mind some of the tombstones or headstones mightn't necessarily indicate whether or not they've served or not, but we'll try to find the ones where they've actually got a plaque or some sort of note on their tombstone. So this is the first one I found. A John Mackenzie wardrobe, and he was in the medical corps. So there you go. There is another one over there, and it's not related to the ex-serviceman, but I think it's worth mentioning because it's something I sort of do have concerns about, and those who are advocates of it. So we'll go have a look at that next. So here we have a Edward and Audrey Lyons, and it states down the bottom that he was a fighter for social justice and she was a champion for women's rights. Together they left the world a better place for many. And I'll take my hat off to her. So here we have another returned or ex-serviceman. It's either Joan or George that served. And just on the other side we also have one that's quite interesting, an ex-POW of the notorious Burma Railway. Wow. You know, those that survived that, you know, that's, you can't put into words. So there you go. Well, it's a beautiful headstone for him, a Thomas William Brooke. And let's see what else we can find. So here we have a warrant officer, an N.B. McAshey. Here we have another warrant officer in the Royal Australian Engineers. Here we have a Sydney Harold Mackay. He was in the infantry. Died at 82, and his wife made it to 100. Well done her. Here we have Paddy, who also served. Here we have another sergeant, an L.N. Sharon. Here we have a private, Frank B. Mann, 22nd Battalion. So here we have a Corporal G.T. Mesley, Army Service Corps. So here I am at the cemetery. I just wanted to point out that there are quite a number of headstones with some of the hobbies or work experience that some of these people had while they were still with us. Being the Australia Day weekend, I thought it was quite appropriate to come and visit the cemetery, especially take a closer look at some of these ex-servicemen that made, you know, Australia Day possible. I know there's a lot of debate out there on its relevance and all that sort of stuff, but that's what makes Australia great. We can argue, fight, protest, as long as we do it legally, any of our causes or issues. And once again, my hat goes off to all those that serve. Thank you. So here we are at a historical landmark. And directly next to it is a Gnomestead, which is a bit funny, I guess. Guess the kids would like it. So if you've got a gnome that you want to relocate, this could be the place. I can see that they're not all necessarily gnomes, especially that big gorilla there. What's that? Essendon Football Club? Guernsey on? Yes, and I guess gnomes do live here. So there you go. So if you've got any gnomes that you need to relocate, just bring it to this tree in Kilcunda. And all you got to do is, you'll see this historic landmark, and it's right next to that. Now it does appear that some of the locals are getting into this lobster festival over the Australia Day weekend. Some people are flying their flags, some people aren't. And you're welcome to do either. So here we are nearing the end of this video or presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, by all means, click on that like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. It doesn't really cost you a cent, and it helps out this channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day.